What is up? We have Cancerian energy after this. Spirit, let's see what wants to come out for Cancerian October 2022. Let's see what comes out, people. Okay, someone is giving birth to something. Stability is what I'm seeing here. The Queen of Pentacles in the upright speaks to giving birth to stability, balance, a better balance, building ultimately to quality. New opportunity is what I'm seeing here. I'm just getting a lot of quality and the ability to move eventually because of the quality. It's almost as if you're getting your finances together, you're getting your coin, you're getting your purse, and everything is kind of being so finely balanced is what I'm getting here, Cancerian. Which is very cool. You're stepping into like boss mode. Things are becoming streamlined is what I'm getting here, okay? It could have been that at first you were worried that you would be stuck in a certain situation, but you've turned that worry on its ear, and now you are seeing the potential. You're seeing the reality of you making a life for yourself that you actually want, is what I'm getting, Cancerian. And interestingly enough, it could be open for travel, it could be open for relocation in time. It might be that you're in a situation where you need to get your financial affairs in order. But I do see travel here, and I see eventually kind of maybe even downsizing, okay? I'm getting a lot of kind of suspended energy here with the Hangman, but the Four of Cups in the reverse speaks to, like that Chinese finger trap, that old school Chinese finger trap that we had at the arcade, where, tighter that you pull on a situation, so you want to get rid of tightness, right? You want to get rid of what is tense, what is tight. Oftentimes what's tight and tense in life is your interpretation of your circumstance. And so when you kind of loosen up is when you kind of really get the magic of it all, when you really get like the Harry Houdini of it all, is what I'm getting here, Cancerian. Yes, it involves self-love, it involves self-nourishing, okay? It's what I'm seeing here. One moment. Sorry about that, guys. Actually, I had to pause and look at my phone. I didn't want to do that while I was on camera taking the time. The Knight of Wands is here in the upright. This is about fast-moving, fast-going, rushing energy after a period of, again, realigning, rejiggering the storyline, interpreting your emotions differently as opposed to just sadness and sorrow and, oh, I'm alone and by myself or whatever the cause might be. It's really empowering yourself in regards to that narrative is what I'm seeing here. Okay. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse can be coming out of a company, a family, but for the right reasons is what I'm getting here. Things are going to be for the right reasons, coming out of conflict. So something that you wouldn't have enjoyed anyways. So you're reinterpreting this possible sadness and loss. You're reinterpreting it for healthy boundaries, healthy emotional processing. So it feels as though that, the stance that you've taken has stood the test of time as far as being on the right side of history. Okay, you may have been in a situation where you weren't valued, and in hindsight, the King of Cups in the upright to me represents hindsight and perspective, as well as the Hangman. Okay, it could be that you feel as though, or you're coming to the understanding now that you weren't given your due, as far as the worth department. You weren't being valued as you should have been because somebody else had, a particular mindset that was geared towards, what they could extract from the situation as opposed to what they could organically grow with you. That's how I'm seeing this. And so you're open to, your blessings. You're open to what comes with the territory of standing true to you. Okay, and what comes is a lot of kind of magic, really, because now you have the room and the space and the freedom to move in divine timing. Okay, not in man-made hysteria, not in biological fear, so to speak. I feel as though you're moving more so organically and true to yourself. It's like trying to have a particular type of plant grow in a region that it's not meant to grow in. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. We said enough of that. Enough of trying to make something grow that is not good for me. That's not indigenous to me. And so what that leaves is room for, building real, true consistency and stability. And that is not necessarily always defined, in a fast pace. Okay, sometimes it takes time to really create stability. But from the sense that I could see in this reading so far, Cancerian, is that you are exactly where you need to be. You're coming out of confusion and you're tapping back into parts of yourself that you had to put on pause. You're tapping back into parts of yourself that you had to, give up for the time being, so that you could go through certain, man-made socialized structures and rites of passage and what have you. It reminds me, as they say in music, that you have to learn how to play inside the box so as to learn how to play outside the box. So you have to learn, first and foremost, the structures, and so that you could, to mix metaphors, you have to learn the rules so you can break the rules. And that comes with time, and that comes with diligence, and that comes with ultimately staying true to yourself. Not rebelling or acting out for the sake of rebelling and acting out, but really knowing that there is some truth in all of your idiosyncratic natures and tendencies, and knowing that that's what's going to allow you to run this race that we call life, which is a marathon. Okay, it could have been that you were involved with people that you just don't see eye to eye on emotionally, in which case, that's none of your concern. That has nothing to do with you. You're still continuing to value yourself first and foremost. And you're not willing to settle for something that you don't want. But having said that, I'm also getting that you're not willing to backstab and betray people that are really doing the work, and people that are really, aligned with your core values and beliefs, as it were. And you're not aligning yourself with people that won't, repent or say forgiveness or say sorry for, where they trespassed in their life in the past. You're not in it for just sheer wanton chaos and destruction for the sake of, chaos and destruction, or, very narrow-minded ways of looking at the world. My sense is that you have a very kind of broad and open way of looking at the world in a certain way that's probably specific to you, as it is for most people nowadays. I'm getting that you may paint with broad strokes, though, as do I. But what's coming to mind are, certain friends, yes, that you've had to leave in the past, but that's different from backstab and betrayal. Because I'm finding that, there, conversationally wants to be a differentiation between, being betrayed by someone who's just kind of done you wrong or done you dirty versus moving on from people that were not on the good path and were not doing right by themselves or others. Okay, there's a difference. Okay. So I don't see you as a victim, Cancerian. I see you as victorious. And, as long as you're aligned with what you know to be true, and all else, depending on what idiosyncratic, particulars and situations, I think about some of the friends that I've had to leave behind and the sorries and the forgivenesses that I've had to make do and make amends with certain people that I did wrong too, but with other people that, I just can't find myself aligned with any longer. Maybe there's less of a conversation there. Maybe there's just, we see the world too differently. We all have our stories and our justifications for our actions that we take. For me, I've had to leave people behind that I just wasn't aligned with. I just didn't get the sense that they were really for me, and they really weren't for my own kind of health and growth and maybe even my sensitivities or way of looking at things, in which case that's why I moved on in the first place. And then there were others that I did try to help, but they weren't helping themselves. So if you're aligned with people that are kind of self-destructive and you kind of outgrow that, I could see that being a healthy reason to leave someone or something in the past. And if you're trying to help people that are not helping themselves, I could see that that's a good reason why, you're trying to leave them in the past. But, I've been on the receiving end of being, abandoned and broken up with and left behind for no good reason, other than that person that was with me couldn't extract something that only met their needs. When I left the family that I was helping with and working with, helped to get established in California, they weren't picking up their fair share of the bills. I was paying the bills. And, two adults, they couldn't fend for themselves. And for me, that was a valid reason of, leaving that situation. In a situation where, I'm trying to live a certain way and my significant other just ups and leaves, to me, I feel as though that I'm on the right side of history because I did right by me. I did right by trying to live in the way that I deemed fit for myself. There's been friends where I have left behind, and I've had to turn around and say, apologies, and, maybe they are on a self-destructive path or, what have you as well, but at the end of the day, those are people that I could really harmonize with, and it's with those people that I've actually continued, to speak with, and, maybe not as much, maybe sparsely, but still, that genuine friendship is there. Whereas with other friends, if there's no common ground or commonality besides negativity, then there's really not much that can stand the test of time there. So, in which case those people have moved on and those people have left, but we're just speaking to just kind of certain rationalizations and justifications for certain types of betrayal that happens with people. And like I said, I'll be willing to admit, where I'm right and where I'm wrong, and just thinking of in my mind my particular past experiences, I still stand by where I was and what I was doing, and I stand by the credence and the belief of I didn't deserve to be left high and dry as I was by the person that I was with. regardless of their kind of keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And to me, that just revealed our kind of core differences, our split, values. So, and I guess the reason why I'm speaking to this is because in my mind, I think like my shadow self wants to conflate, abandonment of a friend is an abandonment of a friend, but it's like, no, there's different levels to this game. I stopped communication with people that I didn't have any commonality with after I quit drinking, after I quit smoking, after I quit drugs, after I moved away from them, and I wasn't just going to be someone's friend just so they could, show off and come to LA and act like they have connections. That's not what friends and loyalty is about, And there are other passive circumstances in which, maybe I would have liked to hang out or met with certain friends that have come out here, but if they're on their kind of drinking and partying mode, then I don't really have much to relate to them with in person other than, just where we typically talk in our chat messenger connection. So, I don't know, just talking out loud, just a lot of food for thought. The reading's been over for a minute, but if you've ever been through something where you find yourself trying to, at least your internal monologue, trying to turn on yourself in regards to the decisions you made of leaving certain people behind and comparing them to maybe you're in a situation where you've, were backstabbed, then, don't pay attention to that voice that tries to conflate, different situations with one another. I think it's good to reflect and try to find out the kind of differences, but know that you're not those people that were leeching off of you or only in it for themselves. So that was an unneeded rant, but hey, what you gonna do? Okay, let's move on to Leo. Love you guys. Holla at your boy. Peace.